Hi there, Diane. I am going to give you feedback on your course. I'm going to do a course review for you with this screencast. So I have reviewed your course and have looked at your assignment with the checklist, and I'm going to go through your course and give you some comments and suggestions to help you improve and refine the course at this stage. I know and understand that you still have stuff to do, but at this stage I can give you some feedback that I hope will help you in this refining stage. First, cosmetically, I'd like to give you some um, comments and suggestions. I would, at the top of the course, put the title of the course so that anyone coming to the course can see immediately what the title of the course is. I would then also add your name so that immediately, for the same reason, immediately someone can see, a student coming in could see this, that they're in the right place because that's the course that they're taking, and then they immediately know who the instructor is. In the participant list, everybody looks exactly the same. They can't tell who the instructor is from the other students in the class, and so by putting your name out there in front and by the course title, it gives the student an additional bit of information about who the instructor is for the course. I would also recommend that you not use the news forum, and this news forum is associated with this latest news block over here. The news forum actually looks like a forum. It's labeled a forum. It even has the same icon as a discussion forum, but in fact it's not. So though it is intended for you to post announcements, if the students were to have any question about any of the announcements you post or anything that you post in there, they wouldn't be able to ask their questions of you there. It just doesn't have that functionality turned on. So I would eliminate this forum and this block. And if you want to use a forum for announcements, then just create a simple threaded discussion and post it there and call it announcements, and that way it will be clearer. I would also suggest that you eliminate upcoming events, and I'm not really sure that I understand blog tags and the blog menu blocks here or section links, but if you're not using them, I would delete them. In addition, I don't really understand what you're doing over here on the left-hand side. This appears to be some sort of a welcome, and I think that's what it is. I think it's your welcome document, and I love that you have it signed here. That sounds great, but it really should live here under this document and not here. It's just too much text. It's just very visually distracting and not clear what it is. It's not labeled, and it just I think would be much better if this whole section here that you're calling course key, which I don't really understand why you're calling it course key, because this is really kind of like the syllabus. So I would move this up, and I would, when you click on welcome, I would have that come up as the document, and move it all up. The people, I would move over to the right hand side and up towards the top so that it has sort of prime real estate there. People in the beginning of a course always want to see who else is in there, and they want to refer back to it and check and see who they're talking to. And so I'd put that over here on the right hand side, and up towards the top I'd also put who's online and messages so that people can see who's online at the same time as them, and then also if there are any messages, and just think about getting rid of anything that you're not actually using. I would then, you know, move all of these resources off to a block on either side. I'd probably put it wherever it would be most visible. First of all, because it just doesn't make sense to me here. These are the first things that the student will see and begin to click on, and they're kind of out of context. I don't really know or understand yet in the course how we're going to use Google or Digo or wikis. I also hate that these are PDFs. It would be much better if it was directly to the document or to the information, I guess. The way that it is, you end up having to launch. So you click and then you have another click and then I have to open it, and it just puts an additional barrier between me and the information. Don't really know, and I've reviewed your course, and maybe you're still working on this, but I don't know how you're using Google in the course. I don't know how you're using Digo in the course. Didn't see it mentioned anywhere or instructed anywhere. I did see that you talked about wikis, but this is about wiki spaces, and I believe in your course you're actually using the Moodle wiki tool. Maybe I misunderstood, but in any case, maybe those are things that you are still building. I don't have any understanding or idea why you have Wordle in here. If it's not an instructional objective, get rid of it. If it doesn't tie into having your students achieve a specific objective, then I would get rid of it. Here's the user guide for EduBlogs, and I know you do mention blogs here, but there's no instructions for them getting their EduBlog or anything about, no links or no examples or no, now go to your EduBlog, to do this assignment or whatever. I didn't see any place where you're collecting it. I did notice that you have duplicated these links here, which I don't understand why. I have a lot of questions about where this stuff is located. Again, I would move this off to the side and why it's actually there. I love how you have, consistently designed, and I know they're not all completely consistent, and that you're working on that, but I can see that you're really thinking that through and duplicating a structure from module to module. That all looks very, very good. I love that you have a schedule for what is due for each of your weeks, and you're asking them to print it out. I'm kind of curious why you're having stuff due at 11:59 and that you're specifying that, and why you're having things due at noon, or like what is the rationale behind those decisions, those choices. Unless you're going to start correcting it at midnight, I don't know. I would just have it, if you have to specify a time, I would just say, I don't know, just think about it. I found it really disturbing, actually, that your Voki is not your own voice, and I guess I would counsel you against doing that. Things get misinterpreted in an online environment, and part of what you're trying to do in an online course is build connection, build trust, build community, and by not using your authentic voice, it's kind of like you're misrepresenting yourself. So, I mean, I was off put by it. So, I mean, I would recommend that you use your own voice. And then I'm not entirely sure why this is here. Why not then put this in your welcome document, or I'm just not entirely sure why it's there. I see you know, you have your instructions for your discussions, which are very nice, very good, very clear. You have your rubric, which is also clear, and discussion forum rubric and discussion instructions, right? And then you have your discussion. Now, what's curious to me is that you have discussion before activities, but it seems to me that you would have them read first before doing the discussion, and so I don't understand why you are organizing your content functionally instead of in a more sequential and integrated manner. It just seems awkward and out of sequence and confusing. So I guess I would suggest that you sequence the items in your module chronologically, so that it's clear what the students are going to be doing in a particular sequence. Or, you know, have a note here saying do the readings first, because, I mean, people interact, especially, I think, in Moodle, sequentially. You know, things are listed out top to bottom and right to left, and left to right, I mean, and so it just seems confusing to have things out of sequence. So these are the readings. This, oh yeah, this is also a reading. Here you have field search, research activities. I guess I don't really understand. I think that these are places where the students have to submit an assignment to you, and you have these all over the place where they turn them into you as homework assignments. And so I would really recommend that instead of doing it that way, that you set it up in some sort of a forum where the students can then share their work with each other. And so, you know, there's a lot more sort of interaction and collaboration around the products that you're having them research and put together. There's a forum called Question and Answer, and I may have already told you about this, where the student can't see anything that's posted until they actually post something. So you could get them to, you know, post their original work before seeing anyone else's work in a forum, and then they can all see each other's work once they've posted and have the basis there for interaction with each other on it. I just see way too many things being turned into you and having you, you know, correct them, and it's, you know, just seems to me that there's much more student-centric opportunities to have them share and interact on the stuff that they're doing. I don't really understand the attitude survey, and my time is about up, so I'm going to stop here and then pick it up in a second.